received this comment yesterday, and I'll read it, and then I will respond. I am valuing your YouTube videos on the diamond approach. I am wondering if you could address the subjects of time and commitment as they pertain to the work. I am in a new group and it seems incremental and gradual. One of my teachers has described as a slow drip. I have heard several other teachers comment on duration as an aspect of the path. I am still unsure of the value of this style of working. Could you comment? So I see three separate but connected points that come up in this comment. The first is time and commitment. And to respond to that first would just be more of a general response to a wider audience, I think. The key point here, I think, has to do with value. And value will bring it more down to a personal level and then bring the time and commitment and response down to a more personal level also. And then there is the slow drip, incremental, and gradual aspect of this. So let's first address the question of value. What is it that brings you to this work? And I'm not talking about, oh, a friend told me about it, or that type of thing. I'm asking, what is it that you are here for? And the response to that then needs to be opened up. So say that I am coming to this work because I want to be real. Well, what does that mean to you? What is the sense of finding the real? What is going to happen to you as a result of being real? How will you know if you're being real? How will you experience yourself? Or am I looking for feedback from others to let me know that I'm real? So then that opens up, who is it that needs to be real? Who is the person that's not real? What's that experience like? See, so once we know that, once we get some kind of orientation around that, once we know what is it that's really bringing us here, then we can talk about value. Because from the ego perspective, value is all about getting something that will serve us, serve our life. But from the perspective of the soul, value is part of its true nature. So the question of value is a valuable question, because the ego, and I don't mean that in a negative way, I mean that is just an operating system, is looking for value, which means that it is looking for the nature of the soul, or looking for true nature, because the value of the soul, the aspect of value from true nature, is the only thing that will satisfy our heart and our deep longing. So we can search and find this, and search and find that, and work with this and work with that, and it will always leave us a little unsatisfied eventually, because only the true value of true nature will fill that up. And of course, the question of time and commitment then comes in when we talk about, well, what's it worth to you to find this value, to get to this value? How much time are you willing to put in? How much commitment are you willing to give? Okay. And that's going to bring up all kinds of stuff too. And we need to look at those and open them up. All right? Because there isn't any one response. You can incremental and gradual, slow drip. You can ease into it, or you can jump into it. It really depends on the person. And then we have to ask who's jumping in, because we need to look at that person and understand them. Some people, like myself, could be a little too quick off the trigger jumping into the deep end, be a little too precocious, and we may need to look at that. Others may be a little too hesitant, to really put forth more time and commitment, and we need to look at the person that's behind that. So there isn't any real answer in a way, other than it is an individual relationship to what it is that you are seeking. What brings you to this work? What will the work do for you? How will you know if you find what it is that you're seeking? What do you think that experience will be like? And once you get closer to those questions, then the whole issue of time and commitment takes care of itself, except, we have to deal with, what's the word, our procrastination, our dynamic inertia, the habits of our ruts and what have you. Those are going to get in the way, even in the way of the true longing of our heart, our heart's desire. And so we have to work with that stuff. I'm still unsure of the value of this style of working. I'd really like to know more of that. How do you see this style of working? So this is where I'm coming from right now, and you can respond to this, or others can respond. Let's just open this up. Let's see what others have to say, and use this as an invitation for all of us to explore this topic more.